what's going on, you guys? Roads Untraveled. We're down here in San Diego today. A little bit of a change. We drove down from LA into this beautiful 2008 Shelby GT500 solid rear axle. So this is classic America muscle car, and it's got a supercharged 5.4 liter V8 up front, 4 valves per cylinder. It's got an iron block and aluminum heads. So that's pretty much the main difference between this and the newer GT350 and the older 04 Terminator Cobra is the fact that this is classic Mustang suspension, classic muscle car suspension, and driveline. John, the owner of this car, has done a few modifications, but the most notable one being a smaller supercharger pulley, because this is supercharged from the factory, so if you do a pulley, an intake, a tune, you've got yourself like 100 horsepower. Any boosted car really, and the Mustang is no exception. GT500, no exception. Oh yeah. All right, just a little taste. Other than the clutch being incredibly heavy, there's only like, 1 or 2 clutches that I've ever felt that are heavier than this. Even still, John basically wanted the toughest clutch that was not going to break and can handle the torque of this beast of a V8 in front of me. A little bit intimidating. This is a mean-looking Mustang. It's the S197 generation is what they like to call it, basically the follow-up to the New Edge Mustang. So this generation of Mustang ran from 2005 to 2009. And then it got a facelift for 2010, and they produced this 197 until 2014. So long model year, almost 10 years, this chassis of Mustang was in production, and the facelift looks nice and everything. This GT500 looks mean as hell. I really enjoy the look of this car. I like the look of the new GT350 better, but this is a little bit more bulky, a little bit more, straight line speed, just stick a bunch of power and hold on. So nice to heel toe. It's got a Borla exhaust, and those valves open as soon as you go full throttle, like that. A little bit of supercharger whine, and it just keeps on going. So little interesting things to note about this 5.4 liter V8. An older version, or a more basic version of this engine, 2 valve per cylinder version of this engine, was actually found in the SVT Lightning, the Ford SVT Lightning pickup truck. Of course, the one Paul Walker drove for Racer's Edge in the Fast and the Furious. And then as well, not only that, but Ford also used a bumped up version, a 4 valve version of this engine in the 2005 Ford GT. So this Mustang is somewhere in the middle, and to be completely honest with you, kind of the beginning of the, let's call them horsepower wars in the mid-2000s, because the generation after this had 662 horsepower, the GT500, and the generation before this, the SVT Cobra, the Terminator, had about 390 horsepower. So a big jump going from 390 and then a generation to 500 horsepower. And like 3,000 RPM, it's putting down about, right when you get to like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, you get a lot of supercharger whine, which is very welcome, very much welcome. And yeah, like I was saying, it's a real beast of a car. I mean, first of all, instant torque in both cars, but this is way more intense, way more just like kick you back in your seat, instant power anywhere in the power band, right? You get torque at like 1,500 RPM if you want. And that's what America is all about. Burning rubber and exiting corners and maybe spinning out if you're not careful. It sounds so good. Those Borla mufflers back there. Oh my God. It's got long tube headers as well. There we go. Triple digits. Oh yeah. Bald tires. Now I can see why people, Mustangs get away from people. I mean, honestly, the steering isn't that great. I'm not gonna lie. It's got that springiness. That might sound weird, but it does have that kind of springiness that like it springs back to center really quickly. And maybe that's part of the problem and why a lot of people crash these cars. But it doesn't have that consistent feel where you can really feel the front tires biting and stuff. It's very vague. Yeah, I could see this being good, you know, cruising on the highway and stuff, comfortable steering. Let's call it comfortable steering, but it's not confidence inspiring at all. That being said, the fact that this car has such a heavy front end, I think the weight distribution is like 57% up front, and 43 in the back, which is pretty ridiculous. Oh yeah. Oh my God, sounds unreal. Love it, love it. See, that's the thing though. The sound totally makes, the sound and the looks make up for any vagueness in the steering. The shifter's really good. The shifting is awesome. You're not gonna miss a gear. It's a little bit notchy. I would get a metal shift knob instead of a plastic shift knob. That's the other thing, right? The interior of these cars, they look unique when compared to a bunch of European stuff and Japanese stuff from the time. And this was just the beginning of when American cars started getting good again. Just the very beginning, with exception to the Terminator. But the interior is, you know, you've got fake leather and stuff, and just a lot of plastic. That being said, it's styling-wise, it's good. I just wouldn't see this being nice for, you know, a 20-hour drive, which is what we have to do back up into Canada. Instant torque. It just kicks you back in your seat, and you don't really realize how fast you're going until it's too late. My God. Oh my God. For a big, heavy engine, it really rev matches super easily. Super easily. Like, you'd think with the weight of the engine, you need like a super light flywheel to be able to rev match like that, but it really holds its own. Really easy car to drive though. I mean, the clutch is insane, but other than that, really easy car to drive. Which is what I expect from all American cars. Simple, easy, and reliable. Blows the tires straight off of second gear, leaving rubber on the road as per usual. Just marking my territory really out here. Takes some work to drive. Left leg is already feeling the pain and the sweat. All part of the experience. I love it. Oh yeah. Roll onto it in fourth gear. 14 pounds of boost. All right. All right. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video with this 2008 Shelby GT500. I'm so stoked that we finally got to drive something like this. Real, meaty, American muscle car, but modern, right? One of the greats, and these are starting to depreciate a little bit. Still holding their value. They're like 30, 40 grand still, holding their value because of their tunability and just the nature of the car, right? But awesome straight line cars, so much fun. Even on a twisty road like this, you just gotta be really careful because that torque will kick you in the ass if you're not careful. And you guys know me as like the JDM guy, but when we're down in the States, like we're all America all day long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit us up on Instagram at Roads Untraveled, youtube.com/RoadsUntraveledShow, facebook.com/Roads Untraveled, and yeah, we have a podcast we put up every week that you can listen to as well. We basically just talk cars and stuff. It's a good time. But yeah, this is pretty much one of our last videos in LA. We've got a couple more hefty American cars coming up in the next couple of days for you guys. And then we're finishing off this trip with a monstrous European heavy hitter when we're filming back up in LA, then back to Vancouver for the springtime and all the car culture up there. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon.